Welcome to another episode of Triple D's. I am the Donkey Whisperer. Um, this week I went through. It's been a lot this week. I'm not gonna bombard you with more than two. We'll give you two, and the most recent one was today. So we're gonna talk about Griffin, the level 3 donkey. So in our corporation, we have the owner, and there's a board. Before we go to the ideas with our tile boss, we hit him with the ideas. They sit down at the board, talk that shit, and then the board goes to the boss when they finalize it. So we was planning on, well, we're going to start up a new warehouse in another area. We've been planning this for about 2 weeks. So today we went through the rehearsal, briefed our boss. The boss asked some questions, made some changes. And usually there's props. When the person gets up and talks, we usually use props like some pictures, or if we're talking about the forklift, we probably use a fake forklift as a toy or some shit. And usually we tell whoever we briefing, like, these are props. So don't take, say for example, we say, if we don't have enough props, say we say in the brief, we using this kind of forklift to move this equipment, but we don't have enough props or the prop of a forklift. We don't have the toy. So we may use a truck. But in the brief, we say we using this is going to be the forklift, this is the spot. So old Griffin, level 3, who the person that was briefing said it. Whatever's in the brief, these are the props. So when you see the toy, listen to the brief. The toy is just a placement holder. So the person was going through it, finished it. He said, all right, person, we're moving this piece of equipment. We're going to put it on this kind of truck. And we're going to use this piece of equipment to pick it up, put it on the truck. But on the table, we was like, look, we're using this toy. This is the toy. This is the prop. Listen to the brief. The toy is a placement holder. Why at the end, when the guy was done talking, he said, do you have any questions? The board member said, oh, Griffin, he asked, he was like, because the toy was an actual truck. Remember, the guy said forklift, toy truck. So he said, why is the truck there, but you said in the brief that you're using a forklift? And we all looked at each other, and my boss tapped me, and I'm looking like, and some people in the, like when we talk to our boss, I look at people, they know from my expressions that some people say the dumbest shit. But in the room today, there were some people that knew me, knew the look on my face, what it meant. And other people was probably thinking the same thing my face was saying, like, we just told your stupid ass that this is a goddamn prop. And the guy was like, sir, in the brief, in the reality, when we do this, we're going to use a forklift. And the tone of his voice was sarcastic, and I knew he was like, I need you to catch up. So you would think this is how he went from 2 to 3. So he said, oh, I get it now. I understand. Got it. So some briefs later, some people stood up, said some other shit. So when somebody else got back to the equipment part, they was like, well, and it was reading off the brief. Remember, it already was explained. Prop, toy, example. So the guy was like, so we're going to use the forklift to move this piece of equipment onto another piece of equipment, double stack, and then we're gonna put it on the truck and move it. Why level 3? Just this quick. He was like, so you telling me you gonna use, and this, I don't understand. Once again, this is why we put people in power that shouldn't be. So he was like, so you gonna use, and he stood up and pointed at the truck on the table and said, so you gonna move this truck over here with nothing on it? And I looked at my boss like that, hand on my mouth, and I'm like, I'm about to leave before I say something stupid. Room is quiet, so if usually when I talk, people say I'm loud, but I think it's quiet. So I was like, I need to get out of here before I say something stupid. And then my boss looked at me, well, I side-eyed my boss, and I could see directly is the board people right there in that row. So my actual boss leaned back in his chair and we caught eye contact, and I'm like, he put his head down and smiled, and he never looked at me again because I think he would have laughed. But he knew what the fuck I meant, because I told him after it was over, I'm like, what the fuck, check your boy, what's wrong with it? And he just started laughing like, just leave it alone. Just leave it alone. I'm like, and this is who you listen to, and I listen to you. So you telling me he giving you some dumb shit to do, and I gotta do some dumb shit, and he don't know what the fuck's going on? So he became a level 3. And the shit was astonishing. I'm like, and this goes back to what I always believe. And I tell people this all the time. You can have all the PhDs, all the masters, all go to school 50 fucking years and be dumb as a doorknob. I can take somebody off the street with some fucking sense, put them in your position, and they would have understood exactly what the person talking would have been said. I don't get it. I don't understand it. I understand it because he's stupid. But I don't get why he got to where he at. Maybe, on his knees. Maybe he's right place, right time. I don't know his situation. I don't know how he got there. Maybe somebody in his family, his last name. I don't know. So many variables. There's so many layers I could peel back if I ever sit down and have a conversation with him. Other than that, he's a level 3. I don't give a fuck. Because he's level 3 also because I've heard him nitpick at other people. I've sat down and he went in on some motherfuckers when they talk that shit in briefing him. And he's really, what's the word, anal about certain shit. So I'm like, this dude know what the fuck he talking about. But today, he showed me it's not. I don't know. It's like when people write speeches for presidents. Sometimes you get a good writer, sometimes you don't. Sometimes the president or a politician freestyle that shit. Sometimes they say the right thing, and then sometimes I'm like, fuck, this is why people write